Hello everybody, this is Robert Trusardi, the creator of Blockchain Kingdoms. We turn video gaming into passive income and paid work. In this video, I have a special treat. I interviewed the lead developer of City States. It is a blockchain video game where you will be building a kingdom, and everything that is in the game will be blockchainized. So even like the units of coal and food and all of that stuff that you create will be on the blockchain. Sneak peek of what some of the gameplay footage looks like, and I am super excited to show this off to you. City States is having a seed sale for their governance token starting June 26th, so you may want to get in on this. We'll have tons of information about their seed sale, how the seed tokens work, their CSM token, as well as their buyback system, which creates a floor for their tokens. Let's start with you. Like, what's your name?
Oh, Dirk. My name is Dirk Palmer from Germany.
So, Dirk, so just tell us about City States. Like what is City States?
City States is my take on blockchain. So, honestly, I mean, I haven't seen all the games, but the games that I've seen they're usually like Ponzi's or more gambling than actually playing something. You open crates and then you get something or you don't get something, and that's not really gaming for me. Like one of our users said that blockchain technology with gamification, and what we are trying to do is having a good game that uses blockchain technology. Mm-hmm. So we want to have a good game first that attracts a lot of players, and not just people that are already in crypto, that already own crypto, or know how to interact with it, but just normal, general people. So that's why we need onboarding process that is frictionless. Mm-hmm. You can't expect someone to know how to get Ethereum, for example. Mm-hmm. If he has never heard about crypto, you can't expect him to register an account, exchange, and go to know your customer and then send money there and wait for it to settle and then exchange to currency and then open an account address on Ethereum and then install MetaMask and then buy a pack so you can start playing. You can't expect that from normal people, Mm-hmm. So our approach is that's one of the reasons why we use Stellar, is that we can take care of all of this for the user from one central account. So for example, Stellar has this minimum balance. You need 1 XLM to activate an account. That's to prevent spam on the network. And we can just sponsor this reserve from one central account for the user, and when the user stops playing, we can just cancel that and can use the 1 XLM for another user, for a new user. Mm-hmm. And the same way, we can sponsor all the transactions. I mean, it's dirt cheap on Stellar anyway. It's 0.00001 XLM, which is like I think you can do 1 million transactions for like $3 or less. And so it's already dirt cheap. Mm-hmm. But we don't require the user to have this because we can just pay it from our account. Mm-hmm. Sponsor this transaction. So that's a new feature. So that you can sponsor the transaction for other users in general.
Okay.
So that allows to have everybody start playing the game and have an account already on blockchain without even knowing.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's like you were saying, frictionless. They don't have to know anything about blockchain to get started with the game, and all the blockchain stuff you guys take care of on the back end that they might need to interact with.
Exactly.
Nice.
So, but later when they won, later on they will learn more about how blockchain is involved. So they will learn that, for example, all the resources, all the goods in the game that they are producing, all the weapons and armor and the heroes, that everything of that is on blockchain, so has a value. They can trade it with other players. So they can sell their wood or a sword or a hero or whatever to another player, receive hacks, and can exchange that hacks for XLM or Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever, and withdraw that to their own wallet.
And this is something I'm going to use comparison to another game like Townstar, which is also I think has some similarities. I referenced your game as I've referenced your game as a Farmville before, like a type of Farmville. Is that accurate that it's a type of Farmville?
No, that was cringe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's absolutely not. It's totally not. City 6 is complex, and it's a strategy game, and it's a resource management game. And Farmville is like these. City States is easy to get into, but all the mechanics that are running in the background, they are very complex. So you have this global economy, and that everything, in a game like Farmville or any other strategy game, the developers don't really have to care about if a user is overproducing wood or overproducing this, or there's somewhere there's a flaw in the calculation, and they can earn lots of in-game currency by producing a specific item or something. They don't have to think about that because it doesn't matter, because it has a value. We have to think about every single little piece in the game, because every single piece has a value.
Okay, got it.
So that's way different to Farm. Also, there's a strategy part, there's a multiplayer part. So you play against other players. You are not just on your turf and raising pigs or growing plants. You're building your city up, level your buildings up, so you raise the production. So the more buildings you have, the more villagers you need that work in these. But the more villagers you have, you also need more food, more wood, and later on when you level up and grow your city, the demands of the villagers will rise as well. So when you do well, you have to think about that you are like the Lord Chief Cain or something of the city. And of course, if you do good, your villagers will do good too. So their needs will go higher. So there are lots of game development. It's called gold sink. Means that value needs to be taken out of the game somehow to keep the economy running. So villagers need food, wood, soldiers, they need food, they need gold, they need beer or something. Or the higher the units are, or the higher the level of the weapons they wear, the more needs. So there's a lot of resource management as well. So you can, of course, then there's the global economy. That makes it so interesting. For example, you could go and when wood is cheap, you buy wood from the market and you build a few charcoal buildings, and you use the wood to produce charcoal, which you then sell on the market. So you buy wood cheap and sell coal for more expensive. So that's your profit. But if a lot of people do that, and the price of wood will go up, and the price of charcoal will go down. At the same time, of course, you need to feed all the people that are working to produce coal. So you need more farms, or you also, again, you need to buy food on the market. As long as you make more profit with other goods, then that's fine. But that's something you have to manage. that's where the global economy comes in place. And that's where that will be very interesting to observe once it starts.
Mhm. And that's different from the way in-game markets used to work. Which, to use an example, like Farmville, which your game is not like, but when when you would buy things or trade things inside of Farmville, it was impermanent. It didn't exist on a blockchain. It was basically kind of like an infinite value. But in your game, you're seeing all those units like the charcoal and the wood are actually going to live on a blockchain so that they can be traded by the users.
Excellent. Every trade is on, that's also one of the features that are unique to Stellar, at least as far as I know. Stellar is the only network that has DEX on the protocol level. So the order book on Stellar, so you can issue assets on Stellar. So there are, for example, there are anchors for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, for XRP, and for some other coins. There's now the Circle USDC is on Stellar now. So all these assets are there, and then users can also issue assets. If you have a small retail business or something, you could issue an asset on Stellar and use that as like loyalty points for your customers. Then there's an exchange, and the order books on the protocol level. So there are several different exchange interfaces, and they all use the same order book. So if you see, for example, if you are on Ethereum, SushiSwap and Uniswap, etc., they all.
And see you waiting for the. Hey, welcome back. Sorry, so your PC rebooted, huh? You were in the middle of a thought. You were talking about, I think, the order books on the protocol, and you were comparing it to SushiSwap and other.
Exactly. Uniswap and SushiSwap, for example, and all the other DEX on Ethereum, they all have their own order book that they maintain. So it's fractionalized. It's all over the place. And on Stellar, the only problem missing on Stellar is liquidity. So if there was more liquidity, it would make way more sense to exchange on Stellar than on any other DEX.
And liquidity, you mean like users using the platform and exchanging?
Yeah. Liquidity is the only problem because it's. You can even do up to the 6 hops between currencies. So for example, you say I want to exchange XLM to Bitcoin. Okay. Then you submit this transaction or operation to Stellar, and the protocol says, okay, the best way to do this is to exchange your XLM first to USDC, then to Ethereum, then to XRP, and then to Bitcoin. So that you get the best rate possible. So some people that doing this arbitrage on Stellar already, they send XLM, and at the end of the ops, they get more XLM back than they send.
All right, but you were trying to make all of this invisible for the users so that they didn't have to worry about this stuff.
Yeah, every user can do it. It's called a fast payment. It's a feature of the Stellar network.
Okay.
So what's called swapping on Ethereum is only between one pair, and fast payment on Stellar, they also call it swapping now, just so because users are used to the wording, but fast payment can make up to 6 hops between different currencies.
Interesting.
To find the best path, best exchange rate.
Yeah, I think probably 1% of the users watching this know what we're talking about, so we should probably stick to the game stuff. So I'm curious, how do the seed tokens work? Because you're having a seed sell very soon, like starting today, right?
Yeah, I hope I mean, I said 26. We still have
Was it
some time.
26? Okay, so starting tomorrow.
Yeah,
Um,
25th or 26th. That's what I said, and we still have some time.
okay,
But
cool.
yeah, it's supposed to start.
So how do the seeds work? Like, why would somebody want one of these seed tokens?
The CSM token. It's a governance token, so we will develop a DAO platform, so for a decentralized organization. So people that hold the token can influence the development. So I mean, we have of course we have the base game, and that's fixed. That can't be changed because then the whole thing would make sense. But when it comes to the little things, then the users will have a say in what what route we will take. For example, we could say we could make different proposals, or the user can make a proposal, and then users can vote on it. And if there is enough backing on that proposal, then we will hold a vote on the CSM token holders, and then the proposal that gets the most votes, that's the way that we will continue the development of the game.
So each
All the
token gives
technology,
you a vote.
yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
more to- the more tokens you have, the more votes you get.
And isn't there something else involved there? Like, from what I understood, there's all the seed tokens also. Essentially, it seemed like they give you like a piece of the development earnings or piece of the game earnings.
Yeah, it's that's kind of you have to be careful with the wording here,
Mm-hmm.
because so yeah, you own a part of the game
Mm-hmm.
and of the IP,
Mm-hmm.
so the intellectual property. So city states, and if there are other versions of city states maybe coming in the future, then that's what the CSM token is for. It's not a part of a company.
All
It's
right.
part of the game and the IP.
Okay, so the if you hold a seed token, it's not like generating you any kind of like passive revenue or anything like that.
Yeah, it will, because the game generates revenue, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just I'm just the developer, right? And I'm getting paid by the DAO.
Mm-hmm.
So in the future, uh, when we reach the end of the development, the token holders will have the power to fire.
Oh,
They will have the power. They will have the power to hire new people, to fire people if their contributions is not enough anymore. They will have to say in salaries, etc. It will be completely, everything will be decided by the decentralized organization.
mm-hmm.
Then, of course, because it's not just online, but someone has to take care of bank accounts, of blockchain accounts, etc. There needs to be someone in charge.
Mm-hmm.
But if one day they decide, okay, we don't want Dirk anymore at the helm of this, we want this guy, then they can vote for this guy, and I will have to hand over everything that is entailed with that. So all the keys, etc., will be handed over to the new at the helm.
Okay, so the owners of the CSM token, C token, that gives people the ability to vote on like who's working on the game, what route it's taking, based on the essentially the routes that you guys offer to the
Yeah.
token owners, and and these tokens also do give the owners a type of like income or something, and you as well hold some of these tokens so that you earn from those tokens as well.
Yes, of course. I mean, um, someone once said because he sold all his tokens, he's not, you know, that would make him free to program or something. And I think as long as you hold tokens, then you have a stake in it, you know?
Okay, so so it's the value of the tokens is that we're talking about. If they're whatever the value of the token has that people would trade for in order to exchange those tokens or hold those tokens.
Excuse me again?
Oh, so well, I'm trying to figure out if you hold the seed token, is it like
Yeah.
passively giving you some kind of units of something, or is it just the fact that you hold the unit that if someone sees it as valuable, that you could trade it to them for another token? So I'm trying to figure out if the seed token is actually giving some kind of like passive earnings, or is it just the fact that you hold the token that it could have potential value to other people?
The CSM token
Yes.
will generate value. So there will be. I mean, of course, we have to see first how the game develops, especially at the beginning.
Hmm.
But the plan is to have a monthly payment to automatically into their Stellar.
Okay.
Or we also want to support the token on BSC and Ethereum as web versions of the CSM token.
Hmm.
So essentially, they could also collect the payments in their city states account and withdraw to another chain when they're complete.
And
Because
those,
on Stellar it's feel as we will.
could you say that again about Stellar?
On Stellar, we will pay the fees. If they
Oh, I
have
see.
their CSM on Stellar, we will pay the monthly payouts automatically.
Okay, because it's so cheap to do that on Stellar.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
So the payments that are being made, the source of that is coming from people buying the in-game currency, the hex.
yeah. The
Okay.
game itself, or city states, or me, or whatever, is we never sell resources. We don't sell goods.
Hmm.
We don't sell stuff that can be crafted. That's only the players under each other.
Hmm.
It's only supply and demand.
I
And
really
because
like that.
everything
Yeah.
and because everything is on Stellar, if we did that, you would know.
Right. Well, I like that. You provide the players the ability to create the value.
Yeah, we are trying to be as transparent as possible.
Yeah, I like that. And um, so with the currency, the hex, you said there's going to be a buyback system, and if I have that right, that means that they'll buy the hex, and then if they want to go back and essentially resell the hex, there's going to be kind of like a floor, like you'll be able to resell it back at minimum 80% value or something like that.
Hex has a fixed bottom and a fixed top, or a ceiling and a bottom, or ceiling and a floor. So, for example, when we start with the game, the hex will be sold at zero point 0.3 cent per hex, or $3 per 1,000, and the buyback price will be 0.225 cent, which is 75% of the three of the selling price. So there's a trading range of 25% between the ceiling and the floor
Hmm.
for players to buy and sell hex among each other. So we only sell hex, which is coming new into the company. So when players buy from us directly, only then new hex is generated. And when they buy, we automatically put a new buy order in for the same amount of hex, just at 25% lower price. So the price of hex can never be lower than 25% of what you paid for it.
Hmm.
Can never be. Because even if everybody in the game would sell all the hex at the same time, it will all be bought back on the floor.
Hmm. And
So
this.
on the other hand, when we sell stuff like NFTs quality of life upgrades like additional builder or whatever. Um, then we take 25% of that and put that into the buyback order, which increases the value of the buyback order, but the amount of tokens we need to buy back stays the same. So we have more money left for the same amount of tokens we need to buy back. So that raises the floor a little bit each time. And that again raises the floor again, the ceiling again, because the difference needs to be 25% only. So when we start with the floor at 0.225 cent and then it's 0.23 cent, then that will automatically lift the ceiling too. So the next people buying hex will have to pay more for that.
Okay.
But on the other hand, they also get more back if they decide to sell at the lowest price.
And this works because you guys essentially reserve that whatever was paid in crypto on the back end to pay back for that 75%.
Yeah, that's immediately used to change the buyback order. And the reason that we can do this is because unlike others that only depend on selling stuff to their players, and usually most companies, they just want to suck out as much money as possible. My first goal is to build the biggest game economy that is possible. And I can only do that by supporting the game economy. If I want like Supercell or something, I would make gems and cards and whatever. I would make it tradable, and after like 2 or 3 years, you would have a game economy of 5 to 10 billion US dollar or even more. But because they are traded on Nasdaq, they need to make as much profit as possible, and that's why they are in decline.
Right.
If they put more back into it and actually give ownership to players and grow the economy, they would also act way differently. Of course, they would give away less than they do now, but there are so many players buying stuff that I'm sure they could sustain a game economy if they wanted to. But they are for profit. I'm not saying I'm not for profit. Of course, I need money too. I rent and food and school and this and that. But I think there's a difference being a big company that needs to maximize profit as much as possible, or having a different approach, a more altruistic approach. When you have a different goal in mind than just make money.
Yeah, I agree with you. Supercell is one of those, app-based game companies that make some of the biggest, games on the iPhone and Android. And yeah, when they do sell us items, they keep all of that. They, of course, spend marketing and all that other stuff, but the players don't have any chance to actually retain any of that value besides entertainment. And I think that's why both of us got involved with blockchain gaming, because if we're going to buy virtual items, we would like to be able to retain the value for what we purchased.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I wrote an article about that 2 years ago. Gaming as micro jobbing opportunity. I wrote that, I think, in 2019, and I think it still holds true, because that's how I see gamers in most of the mobile games. There are whales that buy their way to the top, and all the other players are basically just human NPCs that are there to entertain the whales. So they are not bored because they are playing against bots.
Right.
So my line of thought is that if these people invest their time to entertain the whales, then they should at least get paid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I know the feeling. So you want people to, even if there are wells in the game who have the most amount of power, you want people to get paid for participating in a game that has bigger players in them.
Yeah, this
Right.
should be that should be the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Um,
sure there is a shift coming. I have to. I'm not really interested in any of the. I mean, I don't know all of the blockchain games yet, but um, uh, those that I saw and I tried, I'm not really. It's, I don't know. They're too boring, too bland, and I don't know. I haven't really seen a real game. I only have seen uh, blockchain technology with gamification, and what we're trying to do is a game that uses blockchain.
mhm. Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the goal, especially my goal. I mean, we created our Metasource cards and other things, but we created the game to do what you're doing, which was we wanted to create a video game you could go and play like 5 versus 5 Arena, and then it was augmented by, earnings inside of crypto. And you're right, it's kind of funny that we look at it right now, and we don't really have any of those games right now. There's some like Townstar, but even that isn't really a blockchain game. They basically like reward you with some blockchain items or with blockchain
But
crypto, but it's not.
short, it's only short term. I mean, like it's always like a week or something, and then there's a reset.
Yeah, I think it's something like
You're,
that. Yeah.
you're not working. You're not working towards something. There is no real multiplayer. You have your single thing there, and you build it up. And if you don't exactly know where to, I mean, I played it, and when if you don't exactly know where to place what, you're going to restart and restart and restart because you have to read like 50 hours before you even understand how each building affects the other, how the wind may affect the windmill if another building is in the way, and but they don't make it obvious in the game. They actually said it's by design. They want players to have to read about, and that's bad
Hmm.
gameplay, in my opinion.
Hmm.
A game should be intuitive for the player. They should start the game and should know what they need to do.
Yeah.
You can have small tutorials maybe, but you shouldn't require the player to read for, I don't know, maybe 10 pages of stuff to figure out how to best build the town.
Yeah, I agree. So while we kind of come towards the end of the conversation here, I'm kind of curious, like how big is your team? I've seen game from the footage. I mean, I'm sorry, footage from the game, and looks like I think we connected almost like a year ago. I think you joined our Discord, and you've participated in our community from time to time, and I appreciate you coming in to let us know how your game's progressing. But it looks like we're starting to see things. You're starting to do the token sell. So I'm always curious, like, is it just Derek here, or is it other people? Like,
So we have one lead developer, we have one main artist, we have several other artists that we use every now and then for specific items. Um, but after the seed sale, we will continue with the studio. We've been working with them before. They made the mock-up of the Exchange interface, and they made the logo of City States. But they actually are game development studio, and we continue with them so we can ramp up and fasten up development and have everything in one place instead of dealing with several freelancers and waiting for them to deliver, etc., etc. So yeah, to fasten up and to have everything. And yeah, I think that's a better way.
so it sounds like
That's a better.
you do have a development team, not just yourself. Your role seems like it's technical. I do any programming or any of that, or are you just like the lead
No,
developer?
the complete concept is from A to Z.
Oh,
So everything about the game, for example, if you ask the artist anything about the game, he could answer maybe some stuff, but not even half, because it's really complex. But I was the only one developing.
okay. So you're the lead developer, and you're probably
Also financing early development, and I paid all the artists and whatever we needed to pay. That was on me,
mhm.
and um, we won a small grant from the Stellar Development Foundation.
Oh, cool.
That was uh, a community grant. Yeah, but effectively, if you look back, uh, effectively there was work on the game was for like half a year maybe,
Mm.
not 2 years. We didn't have the money to power 2 years. If we had the money back then, the game would be finished.
Right, right. Well, I think we're all getting there with the blockchain games. They're coming. They might be kind of slow coming, but with people like you working hard on it.
I think I should have done the sale earlier.
Right, yeah, I know the feeling.
I
So,
I had expected the response that we got. I didn't. I thought it's too complex, it's too complicated. I thought people won't understand it and people won't back it. And I have to say, I'm the most happy I am I uh, when I'm on the light paper and I see the icons of the people reading it.
mhm.
It's on Google Docs, and you see anonymous icons of
Mhm.
people, and that's the thing that makes me happy the most. That people read my life.
Yeah, and also when people have an opportunity to send referrals to their friends. Like I have a referral link as well from you guys, and I think there's 24 people that have signed up so far under my referral link, and so to me that just shows a sign that there's interest in the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't, like I said, I didn't expect that. I really thought it's too complicated, it's too special, uh, but the response so far was very positive.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm happy to hear
makes
that.
so we will see how the first round of the seed sale goes.
All right. And how many of those tokens going to be available? Do you know what the price is going to be per token?
Now in the first batch, it's 68 million tokens, and the price starts at 0.125 cent
Oh, wow.
because that's we had an early bird sale for the supporters in Discord. As a thank you for supporting us, because some of them they are really in Discord already more than a year. And yeah, just as a thank you, we were selling a small share early supporter. The last price was this 0.125 cent. So it will always be like that. That
Mm.
the last price that we sold officially will also be the starting price of the next. So
Okay.
we will never sell lower than we sold before,
Mm.
because if there is not the demand there to sell at a higher price,
Mm.
then we did something wrong,
Mm.
and then we should sell more. You
Right.
know what I mean? We shouldn't be the ones to dump the price just to make more money.
Right. You're letting the market determine the value of the token.
We should only sell if the price is still going up, if the demand is still there.
Mm.
If demand is not there, then we shouldn't sell.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like about $1 will get you about 8 tokens right now. I mean, that sounds pretty affordable to me for a lot of people if they want to. You said 0.125 per token.
No, yeah, yeah, no. 0.125 cent, so 0.00125.
Oh, 0.00 125, then I think that math is beyond me at the moment to figure out. But it sounds like you could actually get quite a lot of tokens then by going on to the system.
Yeah,
I'm going to.
actually,
Mhm.
in the start, I wanted to have only 1 million tokens, right? And then okay, that's cool, 1 million tokens, and then the price is going higher, blah, blah, blah. And then people said people like to have lots of tokens, and in the end, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's 1 million or 10 million or 100 million or 1 billion or 1 trillion. It doesn't matter. You just have more of them. It's just the point is just more.
Right. I think usually it's more about how much of the share you have.
Yeah, but people like to have a lot of something, so I said, okay, we just make 1 million.
Let's see. So the last thing I want to end with is, let me also say that I'm going to include links at the bottom of this video for people who want to sign up or for people who want to get more information on how to participate in the seed cell. You wrote a document, so I'm going to. Yeah, so there's a link down there to participate. Lastly, is there anything else that you want people to know about City States, about you? Is there anything else that you would like people to know?
That caught me off guard.
It's an open-ended question, right?
I can just say read the light paper and read the tokenomics. Research. The sale is not going to end tomorrow. The sale is lasting for at least 7 days. So do your research first. Don't buy something without knowing what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
I also wrote that in the light paper, and I mean it. I don't want someone to throw money at this without knowing what they're buying. So please read the light paper and read the tokenomics of the token.
Okay, read the light paper and the tokenomics.
The hex is really the hex. You buy the hex not for the API, because there is a difference of 25% between the ceiling and the bottom. So if you buy it and nobody is making a higher bid than the bottom, you will have to hold it for 2 years to make the difference in API. So if you don't want to use it in the game, don't buy it right now.
Okay, got it. So you don't want people to buy it speculating on its future value.
Hex is more like a stable coin with a slowly rising value, but really slowly. I'm not expecting Hex to be like a cent in a year or something. I'm not expecting that at all. Hex is meant to be stable.
Meant to be single?
Stable.
Oh, stable. Right, meant to be stable. Got it.
Hex is meant.
All right.
So CSM, that's where it's at. Hex is really is just for the game.
For the game, and then if you want to have governance of the company and go to CSMC.
API, no stocks in the company.
All right, and do you think should people be?
No, wait. I have to correct this. You don't buy stock in a company here. You buy a share of the game and its IP. It's intellectual property. You own that, and that is earning revenue.
Okay, earning revenue from the sales of Hex.
I don't want the SEC to knock down my daughter.
Right, got it. I feel like I had another thought there. But I appreciate you, Dirk, and taking the time to talk to me, especially on the verge of a huge launch. I've done launches myself, and I know that this is like when I have the least amount of time available is when I'm up against the wall trying to release things. So I appreciate you, sharing with us, City States and the token cells. And my last question is, should people be afraid of missing out on these seed tokens? Because usually, when I see cells like this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're going to sell out out before I even have a chance to get one? Should people be FOMOing here? Do you think they're going to last for that week that you were talking about?
That's a really, really hard question.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, I don't want people to FOMO in something.
Mm-hmm.
They really, really need to know. They also need to know that this is not. We have people that, because there are some orders on the SDEX, Stellar DEX right now, they buy HEX or CSM or whatever, and like a day later they sell at a loss, 25%, 50% loss. Mm-hmm. Because of course, right now it's brand new. There is no market.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They buy it. They have no idea what they're buying, and because it's not moving the next day, they sell it.
Right.
At a loss.
Right.
A huge sum. So I really don't want people to FOMO into something. They really need to research it. They need to look into it and decide for themselves what's possible.
Right. I think that's sensible. That's very sensible.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope people act sensible.
Nice. Right.
It's just like in every crypto, in every project, it can fail.
Mm-hmm.
It can completely fail. It can be that we put it online and nobody likes it and nobody plays it, and there will never be a profit payment ever. And then what? I don't want someone to come into Discord and cry, I put my life savings into it. Mm-hmm. How would I feel?
Right.
In that moment,
Right.
So that's why I always tell the people, if you are not sure, don't buy now. There's the seed sale now is 3 batches. So we will do this batch now on the dashboard, and after that we will probably go to Binance Smart Chain, and maybe after that Ethereum, maybe Wax. I'm not sure about that yet. So there will always be a chance. Maybe the price is a little bit higher, but you also see more development.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Next,
Right.
So if you're unsure, just wait.
Okay. Well, it also sounds like if people want to help fund development, then they might want to buy the token as well, because that helps you out.
Then they should, yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, we have a lot of people, I think, in our community who...
Of course, if everybody waits now, then there will be no continued development.
Right. Right.
It will continue as before and take a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the catch-22. Well, I think there's been a lot of great support for blockchain games. I think there's a lot of people who want what we're developing, and I'm always I'm always grateful for the people who come to support us and buy our our assets and support development of what we're building. And so I wish the same for you, that people come and they like your vision and they want to support you and buy your tokens. And
thank you.
You're welcome, Dirk. So thank you so much for joining me during this call. Remember to like and subscribe, and follow the links at the bottom of this video. Read the white paper and know what you're getting into. And if you like the sound of it, support City States and Dirk and his team.